Hi, fans of high-quality entertainment. First of all, I would like to thank my new members because I have started up memberships again on this channel to help me out because I was demonetized on my other YouTube channel, Canadian Studmuffin. Fun times to end the year. Anyway, I thought I would do this kind of year of end review of the highlights of, music-wise for the year. Before I forget, I guess the biggest highlight was meeting Ron and Russell Mail of Sparks with Molly after the concert in Toronto in September. Where do I start? Let's start at the beginning. So, once again, this year I received some very nice gifts from some of my viewers, and I won't be able to recall everything that I was given, but I was sent the ELO box set. Thank you very much. Pal sent me quite a few things, including the last CD of Ween's that I needed to complete my Ween discography, and I think he sent me like 2 or 3 other Ween CDs through the year. So thank you very much, pal. I really appreciate it. And I will finish off my Ween album ranking, probably on this channel. And Nicholas Pearl has sent me things throughout the year, including some Beach Boys CDs. And so I just want to mention, I played a lot of Beach Boys this year. I've become a huge fan. I'm only missing 15 Big Ones, which I know is going to be released in the next few months in a box set. Looking forward to that. And then the only other one I'm missing, which I'm not in a big rush to get, is Stars and Stripes, Volume 1. Yeah, and I was also gifted by a very kind viewer, Blind Faith, one of my all-time favorite albums, and this, of course, is the deluxe version. And includes excellent jams on CD 2. Oh, speaking of Sparks, What's that? What's my album of the year? Well, I didn't buy many new albums this year, but obviously my favorite new album of 2025 is Sparks Mad, and let's not forget their Madder EP. I've always liked this band, but didn't know much of their discography, so I'm starting to slowly get some of their albums. My favorite so far is Valentine's Suite. But I just recently got Coliseum Live, and a live album I'd never heard until I recently bought this, and I love it. So yeah, into Coliseum this year. Of course, I've played a lot of the band Can this year. I have their whole discography, and at some point I would like to do an albums ranking. And this is, I don't know, it always changes, but Monster Movie is one of my favorites, and probably the one I've played the most this year, along with Future Days and Tago Mago. Now, this came out last year, but I bought it early this year, and I haven't played it as much recently, but when I bought it, I played it a lot, and I do love this album. Kim Deal, Nobody Loves You More. Excellent solo album. This is the year I really got into Jimi Hendrix. I've always, appreciated his music. I knew his debut album very well. Are You Experienced, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. But I never really heard the next 2 albums, just parts of them. And I've become a big fan of Axis Bold as Love and Electric Ladyland. And I also have Band of Gypsies live. Also coming out this year was an excellent live album by John Anderson and the Band Geeks. This is just so good. And I had the honor of interviewing Richie Castellano, who is also, of course, in Blue Oyster Cult. The interview's on my Canadian Studmuffin channel. So this is superb. Of course, I earlier I said I'm not buying this, because most of you know the story by now, but I ended up buying it and I love it. I'm very happy that I finally bought it, although the CD packaging does suck. Now, reissues, I bought quite a few. I might have forgotten one or two, but I think most of them are here. The Who Are You? I've always felt this was an underrated album by The Who, and it sounds great, the new remix. And The Small Faces, The Autumn Stone. I still need to play all of this. I've only played the first disc. I'm busy. And I would say, I've always been a big fan of the Rolling Stones, but I think this year I just appreciate some of their earlier albums more. Black and Blue is one album that I never really knew much of, but this reissue came out this year recently, and I love it. I love Emotional Rescue, some of their lesser loved albums, Emotional Rescue, Goat's Head Soup. I think, they're underrated. They're great Stones albums. And I'm even appreciating Exile on Main Street at last. Another reissue came out this year, the 50th anniversary of One Size Fits All. This was the very first Frank Zappa album I ever bought back in 1975. So I've been a fan of Frank's for 50 years now, and this is an excellent box set with lots of stuff in it. Another superb box set is David Bowie, I Can't Give Everything Away, 2002 to 2016. And there's just so much bonus material in this. I haven't had time to listen to it all, and live albums and everything. And best of all, they come in plastic sleeves. So yeah, I've got all of David Bowie's studio albums and some live albums too. Another excellent box set that came out recently is Genesis, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Newly remastered with lots of bonus stuff on it. Highly recommended. And I recently got this, the box set for the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Bold as Love. And once again, the only setback, of course, is the box set itself. Yeah, I've got to get the plastic inserts for these, but this one's not too bad to take out, but, it scratches the CDs against the cardboard, and the ones in the middle are more of a problem. But otherwise, it's an excellent box set. A nice little booklet. And once again, the Lennon estate was very kind and gifted me and others Power to the People, John Lennon box set, which is excellent. Love the new remixes. And they also sent me this. And probably the highlight of my year, music-wise, to discover an older artist and finally appreciate them, is Donovan. And I now have about 15 of his albums. And I also got this, A Gift from a Flower to a Garden, Donovan. And this is the, it's limited edition of 500 numbered, handmade box sets, individually signed by Donovan. And I did do a video on it. If I remember, I'll have the link for it here. But yeah, huge fan of Donovan now. And like I said, I'm probably forgetting some of the music I've been into this year, or newer music from older artists usually. But yeah, Frank Black. I'm still waiting to get the CD of his debut album. Morris Gautreaux and I did a CD exchange, and I love the album, his debut album. So that should be coming soon, and that is it. Let me know in the comment section below, what were some of the highlights of your year in music? Bye.